This is Business Now, reaching you live from iBrandTV news studios in Lagos, Nigeria. Coming up, as fuel scarcity bites harder, federal government admits inspection failure caused importation of adulterated petrol. IMF warns E-Naira cross-border use may fuel money laundering, terrorism financing. The United States benchmark the West Texas Intermediate trades below $90. Credit Suisse reacts as massive data leak brings to light the alleged hidden wealth of several clients of the bank. Hello again, and thanks very much for joining us. I'm Michael Nath. The scarcity of petroleum premium motor spirit, popularly called petrol, which has lingered for about 2 weeks, is not due to the absence of products, but inspection failure. The federal government disclosed this as queues by motorists persisted in various filling stations in Abuja and neighboring states of Nasarawa and Niger, as well as in other locations across the country. This came as the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Timi Silva, expressed regrets over the importation of adulterated petrol into Nigeria and its attendant adverse impact nationwide. In a statement issued in Abuja by his senior advisor, Media and Communications, Horatius Egwa, the minister said inspection failure caused the scarcity of petrol in Nigeria, as he sympathized with Nigerians on behalf of the federal government. Silva, however, appreciated the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited for showing concern to the plight of Nigerians by coming forward with an apology. Now, the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission to resolve the incessant complaints by electricity consumers in the country. The agreement seeks to establish a single dedicated channel to which consumers can make their complaints and expect prompt response. The Executive Vice Chairman, Chief Executive of FCCPC, Babatunde Irukera, at the occasion, pointed out that the move was aimed towards preventing interagency conflicts. He said the approach would also seek to modify structures of operation in the sector to reduce customers' grievances. Irukera, who noted that the Commission was resolving more consumer complaints than before, adding that consumer dissatisfaction had been on the increase. Now, the implementation of the Nigerian Oil and Gas Industry Content Development Act has created over 50,000 direct jobs in the local economy over the past 11 years. The Executive Secretary, Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board, Simbi Wabute, said this in Lagos during separate breakfast meetings he held with members of the Guild of Corporate Online Publishers and editors of newspapers and broadcast stations. According to him, the level of Nigerian content in the oil industry stood at around 5% before the enactment of the NOGCD Act in 2010. He added that the implementation of the Nigerian content law resulted in an increase to 26% in 2016 and 42% as of December 2021. Wabute said the NCDMB had launched the Nigerian Content 10-year strategic roadmap in 2017 with a target to achieve 70% Nigerian content by 2027. And Nigeria's real GDP growth topped most analysts' expectations, expanding by 3.98% in fourth quarter, bringing the annual growth rate to 3.4%. Earlier on Business Breakfast, CEO, Center for the Promotion of Private Enterprise, CPPE, Muda Yusuf, highlighted the key drivers of this growth, stating that the challenges experienced in 2020 abated in 2021.
The key drivers of this growth, one, that's what you call a very strong base effect. Because the numbers that is being reported is a year-on-year number. Year 2020 is the base year. 2021 is the year for which the reporting is being made. So when you compare year 2020 to 2021, obviously there's been a remarkable improvement. Because in year 2020, practically all sectors were on lockdown. Full year, there was a contraction of 1.9 to some of the challenges that the economy witnessed in 2020 were already abating. So that is why we talk about very strong base effect. Oil price also recovered in 2020. I mean, in 2021. In 2020, average oil price was $42 per barrel. In 2021, it was $70 per barrel average. That also impacted on the growth that has been recorded. Then many of the sectors that were on lockdown have come back into business. The supply chain disruptions had abated. Restrictions on
About 24 solar mini-grids are to be deployed this year under the Mini-Grid Interconnected Mini-Grid Acceleration Scheme, also known as IMAS, the federal government said. It said private sector investors would deploy the grids by receiving support from the federal government through its Rural Electrification Agency, European Union, and German government to provide electricity in Nigeria. It disclosed this in a statement issued by the IEA in Abuja, where it announced that 8 local solar mini-grid developers had received grants through the agency with the financial and technical support of the EU and Germany within the framework of the Nigerian Energy Support Program. It noted that at the time a granting agreement signing off a ceremony in Abuja, the Minister of State for Power, Gode Jediaba, explained that through the program, more communities across the country would be electrified. The Executive Director, Rural Electrification Fund, Sanusi Ohiare, noted that while investors were being encouraged to explore the solar mini-grid sector, one main constraint to their project development was finance. Now, the Infrastructure Concession Regulatory Commission has said the federal government hopes to generate over 5 billion naira through the Fisheries Coastal Terminal concession project currently being finalized. The project is expected to further create jobs and boost foreign exchange earnings, among other benefits to the economy. The commission, in a statement by the acting head, Media and Publicity, Manji Yoling, said project aims to boost fish exports and ensure the rehabilitation and upgrade of the terminal and operation of fishing trawlers. The Federal Executive Council last week approved the rehabilitation of the Federal Fishery Coastal Terminal in Ebuhu, Mbo, local government area of Akwa Ibom State. The project was proposed by the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development and domiciled therein. The International Monetary Fund says the prospective expansion of E-Naira use to cross-border fund transfers on agency bank networks may lead to new money laundering and financing of terrorism risks. The IMF disclosed this in its Nigeria staff report for the 2021 Article 4 consultation report. According to the report, although there are some benefits such as promoting financial inclusion, there are also some risks around the E-Naira, which the Central Bank of Nigeria needs to address. The Washington-based lender said prospective expansion of E-Naira used to cross-border fund transfers and agency bank networks may cause a new money laundering financing of terrorism risks. The E-Naira was launched on October 25, 2021, making Nigeria among the first countries in the world to introduce a central bank digital currency open to the public. However, the IMF has said that the CBDC is exposed to cyber security risks, unforeseen legal issues, and financial integrity risks. Now, the federal government is making concerted efforts to ensure that the ban on beans exports from Nigeria by the European Union is lifted to stimulate the country's export potential and better the lot of stakeholders in the beans export value chain. The Trade Promotion Advisor, Ado Ekete, Assistance Office, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Iyabude Abe, said the efforts included sensitization of beans farmers and merchants on good agricultural practices and avoidance of indiscriminate use of chemicals. Abe, who spoke in Ado Ekete at a technical session on value chain export development to address chemical residue in storage of dried beans for export, said the inability to export beans to EU countries had negative impact on the country's gross domestic product. At the event where NEPC distributed hermetic bags for grain storage to beans farmers and merchants, the advisor tasked stakeholders on best practices to actualize the dream of exporting their products to the international market, which will in turn increase the GDP of the non-oil sector to Nigeria's economy. Now, the Nigerian insurance industry grew by 8.01% in 2021 compared to a negative growth rate of 13.29% in 2020. Figures obtained from the National Bureau of Statistics have shown. The NBS, in its gross domestic product report for the fourth quarter of 2021, said the insurance industry also accounted for 7.82% of the finance sector. According to the report, the underwriting industry recorded negative growth of 2.08% in the first quarter of 2021. It, however, expanded by 16.41%, 7.86%, and 13.61% in the second, third, and fourth quarters of 2021, respectively. The head corporate communications and market development, Razak Salami, disclosed this in its unaudited result for 2021. According to the Commission, this was a rise from the audited figure of 514 billion naira premium earned in 2020, and NICOM, and said the total assets of the underwriting companies were 2.14 trillion naira, while net claims paid was 238.05 billion naira in 2021. Now, the National Bureau of Statistics says the average retail price of household kerosene fell by 6.60% in January 2022. It noted that the price declined from 467.97 naira in December to 437.11 naira, that's 11 naira, in January. In its document titled Household Kerosene Price Watch January 2022, the NBS said, quote, the average retail price per litre of household kerosene paid by consumers in January 2022 stood at 437.11 naira from 467.97 naira in December 2021, showing a decrease of 6.60% on a month-on-month. According to the document, the top three states with the highest average price per litre in January 2022 were Ebonyi with 652.78 naira, followed by Cross River with 550.00 naira and Enugu with 527.78 naira. States with the lowest average prices per litre were Bayelsa, Sokoto, and Jigawa with 277.78 naira, 321.43 naira, and 332.26.39 naira, respectively. MTN Nigeria Communications PLC and Airtel Nigeria both raked in 2.02 trillion naira from airtime and data revenues in 2021. That's according to the financial statements of the two companies, and the amount indicates a 20.01% increase from the 1.68 trillion naira both companies made from airtime and data revenues in 2020. The amount Ninth Mobile and Globacom made from data and airtime revenues could not be obtained, as their financial statements are not made public. According to statistics from the Nigerian Communications Commission, MTN and Airtel are the two major call carriers in the nation. In its financial statement for the year end December 2021, MTN said its data revenue had continued to maintain an upward trajectory even as it expanded its 4G coverage. It added that average megabyte per subscriber rose by 85.3% in the year. Now, MTN added that its voice revenue grew by 8.4%, more than that of 2020, as a result of higher usage in its active SIM base, as it witnessed a 7.9% growth in minutes of use. According to Airtel, its voice revenue grew by 8.4%, resulting in a 7.9% growth in minutes of use. The Chief Executive Officer, Airtel Africa PLC, Segun Ogusanya, said voice revenues posted year-on-year growth of 9.9%, almost 10% in the quarter, a slight slowdown given the softer quarter, particularly in first quarter, but still reflecting year-on-year customer growth of 5.8%, adding voice ARPU growth of 5.2%. Now, Nigerian Breweries NB PLC grew its top line by 29.7% to 437.2 billion naira in 2021, as the brewer saw a major recovery in sales and margins. Key extracts of the audited report and accounts of NB for the year ended December 31, 2021, released at the weekend, showed that the turnover rose from 337.01 billion naira in 2020 to 437.2 billion naira in 2021. Operating profit rose by 40.2% from 29.82 billion naira to 41.81 billion naira. Net profit jumped by 71.8% to 12.93 billion naira in 2021, compared with 7.53 billion naira in 2020. Earnings per share thus increased correspondingly from 94 kobo in 2020 to 1.61 naira in 2021, while the share capital increased by 1% from 3.998 billion naira to 4.038 billion naira. Shareholders' funds rose by 6.8% from 161.15 billion naira to 172.14 billion naira. Net assets per share also improved from 20.15 naira in 2020 to 21.40 naira in 2021, representing an increase of 6.2%. The board of the company has recommended payment of the entire net profit of 12.9 billion naira as cash dividends from the 2021 business year. Shareholders will receive a final dividend of 1.20% per share of 9.69 billion naira after the company had paid 3.23 billion naira or 40 kobo per share as interim dividend during the year. Now, still to come, Bitcoin targets $40,000 as Joe Biden agrees to meet Putin. Details and more. News updates after this break. Stay with us.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found a solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
You're still watching Business Now. Now to African news. The African Development Bank says it is part of a syndicate of financial institutions set to conclude talks to fund the construction of the SH 180 billion upgrade of the Nairobi-Nakuru highway. A consortium led by French infrastructural firm Vinci secured a 30-year concession contract in 2019 to build and operate the Nairobi-Nakuru highway that is being built under the public-private partnership model. The AFDB said that the funding will pave way for the start of the 233-kilometer road project that will see the road expanded into 4-lane dual carriageway through a PPP model, raising hope of reducing traffic congestion on the northern corridor. The Kenya National Highways Authority picked the Rift Valley Connect consortium comprising Vinci Highways SAS, Meridian Infrastructure Africa Fund, and Vinci Concessions SAS as their preferred bidder for the project. Foreign see now, the United States benchmark, the West Texas Intermediate, is trading below the $90 support zone, while the global benchmark, the Brent oil, is struggling to stay above the $90 support zone as U.S. President Joe Biden, Russian President Vladimir Putin have agreed in its principle to a summit over Ukraine. The agreement to meet was put out by the office of the French President Emmanuel Macron in the form of a statement on Monday. This could be at last an effort towards a diplomatic solution, as the U.S. still believes that Russia intends to invade Ukraine. The Brent crude oil futures is down 0.60%, currently trading at $90.80 per barrel after earlier touching $95 last week. The West Texas Intermediate crude futures is also down 0.75%, currently trading $89.55 a barrel, off an earlier higher of $92.93 last week. U.S. markets will be closed on Monday for the President's Day holiday. As geographical parameters improve, Bitcoin bulls appear to be awakening. Crypto investors are virtually going long on reports that Joe Biden has agreed in principle to meet with Russian President Vladimir Putin in what could be a last-ditch diplomatic effort to resolve tensions surrounding Ukraine and avert a Russian invasion. At the time of writing, Bitcoin was trading at around above $39K. That's its market valuation stood at $741 billion. U.S. Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the meeting between the two world leaders would follow a meeting between Secretary of State Antony Blinken and his Russian counterpart, Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov. The meeting will take place later this week. Now, Credit Suisse has set out after a massive data leak has brought to light the hidden wealth of several clients of the bank. Data of more than 18,000 bank accounts holding more than $100 billion was leaked to German newspaper Süddeutsche Zeitung by a whistleblower. It includes personal, shared, and corporate accounts, as well as those opened as far back as the 1940s. Nearly 40 media organizations have spent months poring over the data. In their investigations, they suggest that they found evidence Credit Suisse accounts had been used by clients involved in serious crimes such as money laundering or drug trafficking. But the Suisse bank rejected the allegations in a statement on Sunday, saying it strongly rejected the allegations and the insinuations about the bank's alleged business practices or lack of due diligence carried out. The bank said, and I quote, "The matters presented are predominantly historical, in some cases dating back as far as the 1940s, and the accounts of these matters are based on partially inaccurate or selective information taken out of context," end of quote. We now go on a short break, and when we return, we'll link up with Margaret for more news updates. I'm Michael Nath.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
Swift Dry Cleaners Limited, professional dry cleaners, best in dry cleaning and laundry services that meets the needs of our consumers. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Yeah, for clean wash and quick delivery. Yeah, Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. Swift Dry Cleaners Limited. For clean wash and quick delivery.
Swift Dry Cleaners. Clean wash, quick delivery.
Oh boy, winning you was so easy.
I just couldn't stand those your powerful shots. That's what happened.
Really? Let's go to my place for dinner.
This fufu is so nice.
It's through unripe plantain flour.
True unripe plantain flour is delicious.
Yes, true unripe plantain flour is what I serve my husband for swallows. It's easy to prepare, fortified with vitamin A, low in sugar and cholesterol, rich in fiber that helps the heart, builds and strengthens the bone, and his energy level is boosted.
Through unripe plantain flour, no additives, 100% natural, a product of Pali Agro Products Nigeria. Through unripe plantain flour, available in all leading stores nationwide.
True unripe plantain flour is 100% natural flour gotten from the processing of unripe plantain. It contains no addictive and has a net content of 500 grams. True unripe plantain flour contains vitamin A, B6 and C. It is gluten-free and rich in calcium. Consuming through unripe plantain flour helps to build and strengthen stronger bones and can be a great meal for diabetic patients. It decreases your chances of constipation as it has a high fiber content and provides you with a low-fat diet. Here are some steps to prepare your through unripe plantain flour. Firstly, mix through unripe plantain flour with hot water in a pot and gradually add water till you achieve desired thickness. Place over medium heat and turn very well for 4 to 5 minutes to get the right texture. Mold into a ball and place in a bowl and allow to cool. Serve with your choice of soup. Through unripe plantain flour can be eaten with any variety of soup, be it your ofe oha, ofe onugbu, begiri, ewedu, or your miyan kuka. To get your through unripe plantain flour, contact us at 12 Olowera Isheri Road by First Welder Bus Stop off Omole Phase 2, Olowera, Lagos.
Most people don't understand the magic of a perfect skin, the allure of a well-pampered skin. We bounce from skincare products to skincare products, from spa to spa. Looking for that ideal solution. I found the solution. And it's Blemiville Skincare and Spa. My name is Neil, and I'm proud to be a part of the Blemiville family.
The Oba of Benin, His Royal Majesty Omonoba Nudo Ukwakwolopolo Ewawe II, has received 2 artifacts from the United Kingdom. Iboje Korea reports that the presentation was made at the Oba Palace by the Nigerian High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Ambassador Tunji Sarafa Ishola.
In a remark before handing over the artifacts, Nigeria High Commissioner to the United Kingdom, Ambassador Tunji Sarafa Ishola, said he was in Benin City on the directive of President Muhammadu Buhari to return the artifacts to its rightful place. He appreciated the British government for granting the export license, which made the return of the artifacts possible. The Director General National Commission for Museum and Monuments, Professor Abba Tijani, said the event is a great historic moment for the Commission and assured of continuous engagement with institutions still holding on to the Benin artifacts and how they can be returned. On his part, Edo State Governor Mr. Godwin Obaseki, represented by the Commissioner for Local Government Affairs, Monday Usagbovo, commended the efforts put by the Oba of Benin in ensuring the return of the artifacts.
I must say that I'm here just for one assignment, as directed by Muhammadu Buhari, President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The assignment is very simple: to directly bring these objects to Oba of Benin Kingdom. That is the presidential directive. Our efforts since the taking away of these great artifacts of Benin Kingdom in 1897, the Commission has been making efforts to see that these artifacts are returned.
Responding, Oba Ewari II, whose speech was read by Prince Agatise Erediawa, said the event marked the beginning of the restitution of artifacts, which were looted in 1897. Oba Ewari II appreciated President Muhammadu Buhari and others for their support in ensuring the return of the artifacts.
Today, through the blessings of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, General Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, His Excellency, the High Commissioner of Nigeria to Great Britain, has graciously brought these items back home to His Majesty the Oba of Benin. It is an emotional moment for the whole Benin. It is a moment that tells us that no matter how long the night is, the day will break.
The returned artifacts are 2 out of the over 10,000 looted from Benin and scattered all over the world. Iboje Korea, reporting for iBrandTV News.
The need for Nigerians to be consistent in their endeavor, especially those in business, have been stressed by stakeholders at the Top 10 Man of the Year and Excellence Awards. iBrandTV reports that the event was the convergence of those who have excelled in their areas of businesses and careers.
Recipients who were awarded haven't distinguished themselves in their areas said business in Nigeria can only strive if business owners, especially in the production sector, can improve more on quality delivery.
One thing for business to remain standing, you have to give value to the masses. Again, you have to make sure that what you are giving to the masses is a quality things, quality products, and also you have to make sure that the product is affordable.
I feel very delighted to receive the award. At least once you're into something and you're being recognized, it shows that you're doing well. So I thank God that our this is recognized. Our effort is being recognized tonight as a bidding merchant of the year.
Business in Nigeria is really tough, I will not lie to you, but it just takes the grace of God and your strategies to make you achieve your purpose in Nigeria. Because government really is not looking at entrepreneur. They focus more on their own government parastatals and the rest. And you as an entrepreneur, for you to stand out in the society, you need to do more of your strategy and also make sure your business has different faces every time so that people can patronize you more.
On how the current economic situation in the country is affecting business in Nigeria, some of the awardees said improved capital base and consistency can help overcome such challenges. Organizers of the event said it's to talk more about the positive side of the Nigeria business achievement, political careers, and all other areas.
Our core value, the focus of our publication is to celebrate excellence. We celebrate excellence by promoting 10 leading lights in every industry. That is what we do in Top 10 magazine. We have added another baby to our awards this year, which is Excellence Awards. We ranked them out of the 10 from 12 editions of our magazine, and we picked the best out of them to celebrate as the winners of our Excellence Awards.
For businesses to stand out and to weather the storms that they are undergoing, it means businesses can stand no matter what the storms are in Nigeria.
Majorly, we actually play majorly in the real estate market, but Pertinence Group, we also, even though our core strength is real estate, we also have a technological firm, we have a savings and investment platform. We play around different industries, but our major strength is real estate. And like the award that our co-founders won today was speaking to exemplary partnership. And one of the core values that we leverage on at Pertinence Group is partnership. We understand that one man cannot really get to the overall game. So you'll see how that we have a total staff strength of in thousands, close to 10,000 partners that actually work with us in achieving these goals.
The event was also an opportunity for those present to exchange business contacts. iBrandTV reporting for iBrandTV News.
Away from that, an attempt to put 4.7 million fake US dollars into circulation in Nigeria has been foiled by the operative of the National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA. This would have done a damage of over 2.7 billion naira to Nigeria's economy, which was the estimated value of the fake dollars. A statement issued by the spokesman of the Anti-Narcotics Agency, Femi Babafemi, disclosed that the operatives had in the early hours of last Friday intercepted a consignment sent from Lagos to Abuja at Abaji area of the Federal Republic of Federal Capital Territory, adding that a controlled delivery of the parceled counterfeit US dollars totaling 4,760,000 led to the arrest of a principal suspect, 52-year-old Abdulmumuni Maikasua. He said the seizure followed the intelligence received by the FCT command of the NDLEA, detailing the movement of the cash into the vehicle conveying it. According to Babafemi, the chairman and chief executive of NDLEA, Brigadier General Buba Mawa, retired, has directed that both the cash and the suspect in custody be transferred to the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, for further investigation. The Senate Committee on Public Accounts has sustained a query issued by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation against the University of Abuja, alleging mismanagement of 603 million naira out of the 2.4 billion naira internally generated revenue of the institution. The office had issued a query in its 2017 report, asking Abuja to refund the 603 million naira to the Consolidated Revenue Fund. The Vice-Chancellor of Abuja, Abdul Rashid Nala, while responding to the query before the committee, chaired by Senator Matthew Ugogide, claimed that the IGR was inadequate to run the affairs of the institution. Nala said, in quote, "The peculiarity of the universities in Nigeria is clear that they do not have enough IGR to remit to the Consolidated Revenue Fund as adduced by the Auditor General. The universities collect only third-party revenues from students. Revenues collected are for specific purposes such as union dues, ID card, medical fees, laboratory fees. The Vice-Chancellor is required to remit the sum of 603 million naira, being 25% of the IGR to the CRF immediately and forward evidence of remittance to my office for confirmation." End of quote. In more stories, the United Kingdom has expressed its willingness to collaborate with Nigeria in tackling the security challenges in the country. The UK's Minister for Africa, Latin American and the Caribbean, Vicky Ford, disclosed this during a meeting with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Geoffrey Onyema, on Monday in Abuja. Minister Ford said her country is willing to provide more training to men and officers of the Nigerian police that will enhance their capacity to tackle the security challenges in Nigeria. This, she added, will help improve community policing in Nigeria and curb the crime rate. She said this in furtherance to the UK-Nigerian Security and Defence Partnership Dialogue in London earlier this month, during which countries agreed to strengthen cooperation in the areas of military cooperation, counter-terrorism, civilian policing, protecting human rights, and recognizing the important roles of women in achieving sustainable peace. In addition to helping to fight insecurity, the UK government has also pledged its commitment to helping Nigeria tackle corruption by strengthening the institutions in the country. The National Association of Nigerian Students, NANS, has issued a one-week ultimatum to the federal government to resolve its disagreement with the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASU, or facing national mass action by Nigerian students across the country. President of the Students Association, Sunday Adedayo, revealed this on Monday in Sokoto, shortly after signing the reviewed constitution of the association at the Sokoto State Government House. The Nigerian students have concluded and given the mandate that if the federal government and ASU do not resolve this between today and Friday, the Nigerian students will mobilize and give the language the government understands. A day of national mass action have been fixed for February 28. And moving on, the Nigerian Maritime Administration and Safety Agency, NIMASA, has renewed its Memorandum of Understanding with the World Maritime University, WMU, Malmö, Sweden. The move, according to NIMASA, is aimed at enhancing capacity development to grow the Nigerian maritime sector. And speaking shortly after signing of the MOU virtually, the Director General of NIMASA, Dr. Bashir Jamal, noted that there is no substitute to education. He noted the collaboration with the World Maritime University by NIMASA is to advance maritime interests while addressing the changing needs of the maritime industry based on sustainable capacity development. As adoption, training and capacity building play a major role in developing shipping in any nation. Jamo used the opportunity to disclose that the agency is at an advanced stage in setting up a regional maritime safety and security research center to enhance research works. The center is to take care of capacity development in 25 African countries. We'll take a commercial break right now. African News is after the break. And now on the Africa scene, a member of Tunisia's suspended parliament, Yassine Ayari, told Reuters that the military court on Friday sentenced him to in absentia to 10 months in prison on charges of insulting the president and the army after he described the president's move to freeze parliament as a military coup. President Kais Saied suspended the parliament on July 25, dismissed the government and seized control of most authorities, drawing widespread criticism at home and abroad. The prison sentence will reinforce opposition fears that Said is seeking revenge on his opponents after he also dissolved the Supreme Judicial Council, the body which guarantees independence of judiciary. Ayari, in a Facebook post, had described Said's action as a military coup. And on to the foreign scene, the U.S. President Joe Biden has agreed in principle to hold a summit with Russian President Vladimir Putin to discuss the crisis over Ukraine. The talks proposed by France will only take place if Russia does not invade its neighbor, the White House said. The Kremlin, meanwhile, said there was no concrete plans for a summit. It is hoped that such talks could offer a possible diplomatic solution to one of the worst security crises in Europe in decades. The U.S. official says intelligence suggests Russia is ready to launch a military operation, which Moscow denies. The proposed summit was announced by the French presidency after 2 phone calls between President Emmanuel Macron and Mr. Putin, which went on for hours, almost 3 hours in total. The second exchange happened in the early hours of Monday, Moscow time, and followed a 15-minute conversation Mr. Macron had with Mr. Biden. Still on the foreign scene, Australia is demanding China investigate the alleged use of laser to illuminate an Australian jet in waters off the country's north coast in an incident that threatens to worsen relations between the two countries. The Prime Minister, Scott Morrison, said on Monday he had called on the Chinese government to explain the dangerous and reckless acts allegedly carried out by a People's Liberation Army Navy warship last week. Morrison said Monday Chinese authorities had not yet responded to his call for answers. At a regular briefing in Beijing, China's Foreign Ministry spokesman Wang Wenbin told reporters the ship was abiding by international law. And now we'll link up with Samson Oloyode for Sports News.
On sports business at this hour, Leicester City have announced their accounts for the 2020-2021 financial year, with the club suffering a pre-tax loss of £33.1 million. Despite the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic, including playing behind closed doors, the club's revenue grew by £76.2 million on the previous year to £226.2 million. The Foxes also made a £43.9 million profit in player trading, while a second consecutive fifth-placed Premier League finish and lifting the FA Cup also helped boost revenue. And still talking sports business, the Premier League has shortlisted 4 blockchain firms for its official non-fungible token license. English football's top flight is mulling over bids offering returns of between £220 million and £434 million over 4 years. The final shortlist is reportedly made up of Sorare, Candy Digital, Dapper Labs, and Consisters. The winning bidder for the Premier League's digital collectibles, which will be presented to clubs before the end of February, will reportedly gain an official license to produce a range of blockchain-based products, including non-fungible tokens based on Panini stickers. The Premier League's delay in putting out a tender has allowed the market to grow, drawing bigger guaranteed returns as blockchain companies are drawn by the Premier League's global fan bases. And finally, on sports business at this hour, DraftKings raised its revenue guidance for the financial year following the sportsbook's latest earnings reports on Friday, but its shares took a tumble due to concerns over profitability. The Boston-based company generated $473 million in revenue in the fourth quarter of 2021, a 47% increase compared to the same period the year prior. Despite the growth, DraftKings posted a loss of $326 million during the quarter, a steep jump from a $243 million loss in the fourth quarter of 2020. Losses for the full fiscal year 2021 reached $1.5 billion, up from $1.2 billion in 2020. DraftKings expects fiscal year 2022 revenue to range between $1.9 billion and $2 billion, a slight uptick from a previous target between $1.7 billion and $1.9 billion. The company attributes the projected growth to the recent launch of mobile sports betting in Louisiana and New York states of United States of America. The company's shares fell by more than 20% on Friday in response to its reported losses. And that's it on sports business at this hour. I'm Samson Olede.
And that's it on news now at this hour. For more news stories, please visit our website, follow all our social media platforms, and do well to tune in to StarTime channel 143 for more news updates. My name is Margaret Opara. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Bye for now.